Hello, welcome. Hi, sorry I'm late. YouTube's just been sitting there spinning on me for a long time. Anyway, don't worry about that. Hello, welcome. I'm Mr. P, otherwise known as Tarath Peacock. Welcome to the Flag Lair for a special one-off 4th of July Independence Day of a little country that some of you may have heard of called the United States of America. So we're celebrating, I wouldn't say all flags related to America. Well, all the flags I am showing are related to America. However, I'm not showing every single flag that is linked to America. Otherwise, we could be here for some time. So that's what we've got packed in anyway, and that's why it's a special. Usually I do live streams at the end of the month. This happens to be at the beginning, but it's the end of every month, the last Friday of every month at 12:45 British summertime, because I'm in a little country called the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. That's where I am. Nothing to do with the US of A at all. However, I just thought that as Independence Day falls on a Friday, why not? Let's get all the flags. And I do have one or two flags, which I'm here to share with you today from the United States. And therefore, I thought I'd take this opportunity to share some of these. So if I can get my technology all sorted out, I think I am mostly ready to go through with what we're doing. First of all, if you're here, please say hello. Michael, thank you for joining. It's a pleasure to have you here, which is great. Thank you very much. It's good to see you. Do join in on the chats. I'd love to know where you're from and a favourite flag, and indeed on this special one, an American USA flag as well, if you've got them. Hi, Alan. Won't be saying much. F1. F1, okay, so F1 trumps me on this one. I know my place, that's fine. No, it's good to have you here. Anyway, Eilert, thank you very much. So yes, let's find out where your favourite flag is. The flag of New England. Now, bear with me, because while I have 619,000 different flags in my head, New England at the moment just slightly eludes me. He says, oh yes, it's a bit like a Tonga, plain red with a green tree in the canton corner. Yes, that's quite a striking one, actually. He says seamlessly. So thank you for sharing that one, Michael. It's a good one. Be great to know whereabouts you're from as well. So are you from this little UK island or further afield? That is welcome. It's great to have you here. Right, okay. Also, just to point out while we're here and as we go through this particular episode, you're from Massachusetts, so part of New England. Right, now it all falls in place. Excellent. Welcome then. What time is it in Massachusetts? And happy Independence Day, if that's a thing you say. It'd be great just to get an idea of what time you're supposed to be. I'll have to apologise for my throat slightly. I've got I've got a little bit of a cold going on, and I'm trying to get through this packet of Hall's cherry flavoured mentholus flavoured things to try and, at least while during this hour or so, is to reduce the amount of coughing and clearing my throat. So apologies for that. Anyway, it's 7:50. Oh my goodness! So you're what, 5 hours behind? Is that right? 4 or 5 hours behind. My maths is slowly linking. But good morning then to the world of Massachusetts. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you very much. I don't know if you've been to the Flag Lair before, but you're more than welcome. And the rest of you as well, please do come along and say hello in the chat. There is, excuse me, there is at the top of the chat pinned there a little banner. If you ever open it up, which says welcome, have a look at that. There's a link there. If you want to be in for a chance of winning a flag today during this live stream, the way to do it now is by filling out this form. It's a very simple form. It's basically what your YouTube handle is, what your email address is, so I can get in contact with you. And if you get involved in the chat and you've filled out that form, you will be in with a chance of either winning this marvelous, and I will send it to you, do not fret, either this marvelous UK county flag of Bedfordshire, which is where I am currently at. That's why I give that one away. Or should you wish to choose, and we'll sort this out. I should have done that actually in the chat. But anyway, or this Flags in Focus flag, of which I have a few as well. So if you are the lucky picked out winner from today, then you will have a chance to take away either one of these. But you need to fill out the form and you need to get in the chat as well. And let's start having a chat to find out where you're from, what your favourite flags are. And indeed, as it's a special USA Independence Day, for those people who are not aware that the 4th of July apparently is a little bit of a party. I think a day off in the United States. So that's why we're here today, to help celebrate. I'm going to keep politics out of it. I'm not going to talk about politics at all today. That's not that I rarely do anyway, but I just need to make the point, no politics. We're just here for flags. So that's the main thing. Right, being a long time watcher, finally able to make it to the live stream. Well, if you've been a long time watcher, welcome. Thank you very much for your support, Michael. For over the long time period, whatever that means. I mean, I've been doing this for nearly 5 years now, which seems a horrific amount of time. But it's a pleasure that you're here in with the chat. So if you're here, let's get the conversation rolling. Let's get started. And here we are already coming up to nearly 5 to 1 in the UK anyway. So they're nearly 8 o'clock. In Massachusetts, I dare say. Is it just a relaxing day, Michael, for you today? You got anything planned, or is it just an easy day of doing very little while sipping a drink or two, maybe for your Independence Day? It'll be great to know. Right, okay, let's get this whole thing rolling. So I've got a number of flags, all real flags that I possess, which are all USA related in one form. So national, state flags, city flags, and a couple of weird anomaly flags, all linked to the USA. So I'm going to pick up and start those now. Just got off from work. Gosh, have you just done a night shift? I work overnight, so it's a live stream, then sleep. Excellent. Well, hopefully I can lull you into a sense of calmness, so you can get a good sleep throughout the day. How's that? I could probably just keep going on and on and on, and that will hopefully dull you into a sense of just unconsciousnness. I could do that for you if you want. Anyway, right. There's more of us here anyway. Anyway, for you who joined us who haven't got involved in the chat, please do check out the link at the top, the pinned chat, if you want to be involved or in for a chance of winning a flag today. Get involved in all of this. That's what we're here for. It's not just me blabbering about flags. I want to get you guys involved as well. Anyway, let's get started. That's what we're here for flags. I'm going to get started with this one. I'll make sure I've got this right. Okay, this is, well, I thought I'd start off with a generic blue bedsheet state flag of the US. This is Pennsylvania, a current state flag. I'm just going to say now, take a note of the colours in the middle emblem, the blue, yellow, green. Just remember those for the next flag that I'm going to show you in just a moment. Anyway, horses, eagles, literature and plants and all sorts. On the state coat of arms. The coat of arms was created back in 1777, so I think right at the beginning of the development of the USA, as it were. But what have we got? Hang on, I need to move so I know what I'm talking about, because I don't want to get anything wrong here, although the chances are quite high. Anyway, so what have we got here? We've got ploughs, ships, 3 sheaves of wheat, all of this good stuff in the middle here. The 2 horses, which represent strength and loyalty. The wheat, which represents the fertility of the Pennsylvanian agriculture. The plough is the natural resources and agriculture again, of course. Ships for seas. I mean, where else would the ship go? And then the motto at the bottom of virtue, liberty, independence. It's all there. Like many other blue state flags, hopefully you will have You're jumping ahead of the game on this one, so we'll come to that in a minute. However, so this is the Pennsylvanian flag, like half of the others. I think it's almost out of the 50 states, it's almost half and half, where half of them are pretty much like this, a blue flag with various stuff in the middle. And they're not my favorite designs, to be fair. So we'll go from a Pennsylvanian current state flag to a Pennsylvanian proposition of what a decent state flag could look like. And yes, Eilert, you're quite right. This is here. This is a potential, and I love this flag for all the right reasons. If I can unfurl it properly. So this here is a nice, stark, simple potential state flag of Pennsylvania, designed by Tara Stark back in 2017, who is a Pennsylvania resident. So she lives in this state. The Pennsylvanian nickname, the Pennsylvanian state nickname, should I say, is the Keystone State, because it was part of the foundation of, if I remember rightly, let me get this right again. If I remember rightly, it was part of the writing of the Constitution, or the agreement of the Constitution of the USA back in the original days, as it were. And why I asked you to make a mental note of the previous flags, which was obviously the current state flag of Pennsylvania, their colours, it's the same colour scheme. So if I hold it up this way, the same colours. So Tara's taken the colours from the Pennsylvanian flag, that middle section where you had the boat and the wheat and the agriculture. So the boat, which was on blue water, the wheat, which was the yellow part, and then at the bottom was the green. So the colours are taken directly from the current state flag, where Tara's put all this. And obviously you've got the symbol of the keystone right in the middle of there, making it a very unique design as far as I'm concerned. And to me, it's an A1 Eilert. To me, this is far superior a flag than the current state flag. So this is just an example of what a state could have. And there are millions, overstatement, there are dozens of things that you can do with this. And if you go to, excuse me, and I'm not affiliated, but if you go to Flags for Good, their webpage, Michael there, who owns the company, has designed variations of the Keystone flag as well. There's a Pride version, for example, and there's various other things that you can do with that you cannot do with the current state blue sheet with the middle emblem. The Keystone, there's plenty of things that you can do with it while keeping it, while it being recognisable. Yada 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 yada. That's why I prefer it much better. And yes, I agree with you, Michael. They're great colours, and I think it's good that that Tara's taken the current state flag colours in the middle there and basically put them to the forefront of her flag. That's why I like it. That's what a state flag should be all about. And Ted Kay, who wrote the Good Flag, Bad Flag book about what a good flag should be, I think his statement is that in every bad flag, there's a good one screaming to get out, and he's right. So the Pennsylvanian flag in the middle of that emblem, those colours there are screaming to get out to end up being the Keystone flag. Anyway, I think I've covered that. Love your thoughts on that as well, but Eilert, you've got yours. Michael, you've covered yours as well. Excellent. Welcome, everybody. Gosh, there's lots of you in there. Come and say hello in the chat. The chat is there for you to have clues in the name, to have a chat. I'd love to know where you're from. Obviously, country is fine. I don't need a home address, but I'd love to know what part of the planet you're from. So just drop that in the chat. If you've got a favourite flag, drop that in as well. And more importantly, if you want to be involved in winning or having a chance of winning a flag, either a Bedfordshire one or a Flags in Focus flag, then at the top of the chat is a welcome part with a link. Just drop your details in there and you could be a lucky winner of one of these flags. Anyway, let's move on. What have we got next? It is returning back to some more normal stuff. And talking of state flags, we'll stick with them for the moment. This is here the rather beautiful, but not to be confused, state flag of, I was about to say Chile, that's really naughty, Texas, which was this one, was this one adopted in 1839? But that's when it was probably a republic on its own, as opposed to a particular state. So that's where we've got this one. A single white star, which represents the Texas independence back then, back in the day, otherwise known as the Lone Star State as well. But yes, don't get this one mixed up with Chile. Chile is pretty much as in the national flag. Chile's national flag is the same, except the red along the bottom goes right across the bottom of the flag altogether. So you shift the white star up, keep the blue background, but the red bar at the bottom goes right across the bottom of the entire flag. But that's the difference between Chile and Texas. So Texas, again, which has a great standout flag, which is fantastic. It's not a blue bedsheet by any stretch, and nor should it be. And they did right in keeping this, because it's again, it makes it stand out amongst all the rest of the plethora of 50 state flags they've got to get in. So it's one that I happen to like, which is why I've got it. Of course, you might ask if I get flags that I like, why have I got the Pennsylvania state flag? Well, that was given to me by a certain person who I do podcasts with, which is Joe Billups, who you can find on Instagram. We did a flag swap, and he gave me the Pennsylvanian flag, because that's his state, that's where he's from as well. So it sort of makes sense, which is great. Would have been funny if you'd had the Chile. Yes, I do have Chile in amongst all this somewhere. And yes, if I'd shown the Chile flag instead of Texas, I would have been in serious trouble there. Anyway, as I say, let's say hello to Mitar again. Hi, hello again. It's great to have you, which is beautiful. Let's keep going. What would it be? Right, where am I? Might be the most American state flag ever. I love it. Michael, you're right. It is potentially the most American state flag, but I reckon I can find an Americaner state flag than the Texas one, which I've got here. But we'll come to that a bit later. Let's see what you think on that one. I might be able to, I was about to say trump you on that one, but keep politics out. Anyway, right, let's move on. I do, because I have a number of American flags I want to get through to, or US flags. Right, this one. Again, another one of my favorites. This is the, what is this? This is Colorado. The blue representing the nice clear blue skies of Colorado. The white symbolizes the Rocky Mountains. The red reflects the color of the state's soil, well, there you go. And the gold represents the abundant sunshine, I assume. Is it also known as the Sunshine State? Have I got that one right? Is Colorado the Sunshine State? Or have I just made that one? I cannot remember now. Answers on the postcard if you know. Now, adopted in 1911, this particular design, by an Andrew Carson, allegedly. But yeah, do let me know if I've got the nickname of this state right or not. But yes, again, another great design. It's another one that stands out beautifully amongst its sea of these 50 states. There is, again, if you go to the Flags for Good webpage and want to buy a Colorado flag, the owner there, Michael, has redesigned this flag ever so slightly. And the way he's redesigned it is the letter C in the middle, the big red bit in the middle. The C lines up with the blue and doesn't bleed into the white like this one does. So the C actually finishes where the blue does, the top and bottom of the C. If you're not sure what it'll be, go and have a look on his website. About loads of stuff from there. Anyway, so I'm not affiliated, but he's just tidied it up, and I think he's right. And he's created he did a video as well about Colorado. So if at some point, if you haven't seen it already, go and check out the YouTube channel of Flags for Good. Have a look at the Colorado video that he's done there. It is very fascinating, especially when he gets into the deep legislation of what the flag of Colorado should actually look like, and meeting various people who are trying to advocate, I think, what it really should be. But anyway, that's that. Have a look. Florida is the Sunshine State. Begging your pardon, you're right. South Dakota used to be known as the Sunshine State as well. How can you have two of them? Michael Green calls it chaos. Yes, I said chaos. I'm not sure if that's just a little bit of an overuse of the word chaos for the sea just not lining up. Maybe we all see the term chaos through our own eyes in different ways. Anyway, the gaps are uneven. Yes, they are uneven. Yes, you're right, and it does bug me, and I suppose Eilert, that's what you're probably alluding to as well when Michael says it's chaos, because the bottom. Have I got this right way around now? Have I turned? Oh no. See, there is a front and back. So yeah, the top of the sea is not as much into the white as the bottom of the sea. The bottom of the sea seems to be quite a lot of bit into the white, whereas the top of it anyway. I don't design these things, I just own them. The sun is still on the South Dakota flag because of it too. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Colorado is the Centennial State. Oh, is it? Centennial State. Okay, right. Eilert, you might need to explain more about this one to me, or at least keep me on the straight and narrow on this one. So I've got here, this is probably a flag that most people except Eilert haven't seen, which is this one, which is all links. Let me just get that to fly in the right direction. There we go. Now, this isn't an official design, but it's a design. As I say, Eilert, please keep me straight on this one. Is this a proposed design for Idaho, nicknamed the Gem State, if I've got that right, by our very own Phil Tippett? When I say very own, he's a lad in Scotland who works closely in the world of flags for both Scotland and the rest of the United Kingdom. He's done a lot of work for advocating some new county flags in Scotland. So he designed this gemstone design for Idaho. And I got this as a flag swap from Eilert, who's in the chat at the moment. Let's see if he's mentioned anything or whether he's too busy with the F1. Idaho proposed. Okay, so Idaho proposed. That's fine. It is pretty, Michael. I do like it. Garnet Star is the state gem. Okay, Garnet Star, of which, if I remember rightly, only comes in two places, wasn't it? In this particular, the Garnet Star, the gem. Sorry, is either found in Idaho and somewhere in India. Have I got that right, or am I just making this up as I go along now? And they're the only two places that allegedly you find the Garnet Star. But again, I do like this design, probably because it's a nice, plain, simple, but stands out. For those who know me, I like a good, simple, plain design flag, and that's one that I think does the job very well. Somewhere in India, yes. Gosh, you see, sometimes I do a bit of research, and occasionally it sticks up here as well, and then I can share a little bit of that with you guys as well. So that's rather cool. Okay, right. How are we doing? Where are we? Gosh, there's lots of you here. Come on, please join in the chat. Let's know where you're from, what your favorite flags are. Do you have a favorite US flag? Because we're looking at US flags today because it's the 4th of July, it's Independence Day. Not that I'm in the USA, but I just seem to have a lot of flags from the United States of America, and that's why we're going through those today. So please join in, and if you want a chance of winning a flag, I'm sorry for those who've been here since the beginning of this live stream, but for those who've just joined, if you want to be in chance for winning a flag, then go and click on the link at the very top there. There's a link there where you can just put in your name and an email address so I can contact you. And if you're chosen, you can win either a Bedfordshire flag, or a Flags in Focus flag. You get to choose which one you want, and I'll get that to you wherever you are on the planet. As long as you have a postal address, I'm sure I'll be able to get that posted to you. So yes, please join in. It'd be great to hear from you. Right, let's keep rolling because I do have a fair amount of stuff. Okay, let's do this one while we're here, which is this one. Which, there we go, is obviously the national flag of the United States of America. So the first version, obviously, which this is not, was, I think, if my history is right, back in June 1777. So we're coming up to a bit of in a few years' time, a bit of a anniversary year, I would have thought, in 2027, but let's worry about that in a few years' time. Anyway, the red symbolizes valor and bravery, white signifies purity and innocence, and blue represents the vigilance, perseverance, and justice. 13 stripes, as we probably know, a lot of us, is the representation of the original 13 colonies that agreed to start their United Statenesses of it all, being part of the Union. And then the 50 stars, obviously representing the 50 states of the US. The flags obviously changed a number of times over the years, to the point where at some point, I think when they got to the 15 states, they also had 15 stripes on the flag as well. So the idea was that you add stars when you get a new state, as well as add a stripe for each new state. And they got up to 15 stripes, and then realized that, well, especially if they'd got to 50 states, can you imagine what the stripes would have looked like at that stage? So that changed. They reduced the number of stripes back down to 13, the original colonies then, and just kept adding states. And the ruling is now, 29 changes. Thank you, Islet. That's brilliant. The original standing now is what's that all about? The standing is now that when a new state is added, and I wonder whether it's when a state also removes itself from the country. I don't know. I haven't read anything about that. But should a new state be added to the United States, then regardless of what date that is, the flag will change officially on the next 4th of July, which makes sense. So the flag is always updated now and has done for the past few times. It was always the 4th of July that a new flag was brought out. So it's one of the few number of countries where the flag is designed to be updated regardless. You know, many other countries, especially, you know, I would have thought some of the main European countries that just have the tri-bands in, for example, there's no need to update, change, or amend that. But the US flag is very much designed and intended, a bit like Brazil, to be updated when their states change. And if I remember rightly, they had a star in the Brazilian center, in the circle of Brazil. They had stars when new states or provinces, I can't remember the terminology that Brazil uses, but it's a similar thing. And I can't think, unless Islet, you can tell me otherwise, but I can't think, unless you guys know, of any other flag that's designed in such a way that it's updated and amended when their territory changes. I don't know, apart from the United Kingdom, but that's slightly different. I say slightly, massively different, I would have thought, the United Kingdom. But anyway, right, okay, so that's the United States flag, which is a very iconic flag. Let's not beat about the bush on that one, and is very recognizable for what it is, and has borne a number of national flags out of it as well. Liberia, for example, is a flag that was based on the US in its design, and I think other flags such as, and this is where I'm grappling now, whether Puerto Rico and therefore Cuba, who are one of them's just set on the other one because they are very similar designs, but one of those uses the colours from the United States flag. Tell me if I got that one wrong. And I think Panama is the same as well. While the design of Panama is very different, I think, again, they chose the colours because of the United States colours. I'm clutching at straws here on that one. Anyway. Right, let's keep going. Let's keep going because we're rattling through these. The flag of Brittany, yes, was also based on the US flag. It is the black and white, what I call the depressing flag, which I did do a video about the Brittany flag, of which I ridiculously did it in a sort of a film noir style in places, because while it looks good, the flag of Brittany, because it's just black and white, it's a bit, it's which, you know, let's go on this segue while I've got it. Here it is. So Cornwall, which is a county in West England, the oldest, I think, let's just bring that down a bit, the oldest county flag in the United Kingdom, I think, is this one. Again, like Brittany, is black and white. St. Piran, I think, is the cross on this one. But anyway, we're not doing Cornwall. We're doing US flags. But, you know, there's a good segue. Could throw that one in. Goth England flag. The Goth England flag. Yes. I can look at that in a new light now. A Goth England flag. How's that? I like that terminology. I can't find my England flag now. Here it is. So yes, it's a bit of a, yeah, I like that. Goth England. Anyway, right, okay, let's move on before we fall down any other rabbit holes. Okay, right, Michael, you mentioned that Texas was a very US state flag in its design, and I agree with you. However, I think you can't get more US style than this one, in my opinion. This is the swallowtail state flag of Ohio. It was adopted in May 1902, designed by a John Eisenman. Red, white, and blue, of course, the colours taken from the US national flag. I mean, that's what the colours are. That's where they're from. It's obviously a unique shape because it is a swallowtail, which I can't really show very well while I'm holding it up like that. But when it's flapping in the wind, it does look rather cool. The big white circle in the middle with the red circle disc in the middle of that is obviously the letter O for Ohio. And when you've got a letter like that, I think, because I'm not one for putting letters. Colorado works as well, I think, because the shape of the letter C works. O works well as well. So I think you can get away with that. So these sort of state flags can get away with putting an initial on a flag, and I do like that. And then the 17 stars because it was the 17th state to join the Union. What else are we? The shield represents the Native American tribes. The stars with so the shield is the right. So the triangular part. That's what we're talking about here. That's what they're saying about the shield. Represents the Native American tribes, and the star within the red circles, yes, symbolizes. No, that's I've gone wrong on that one. No, forget that. I'm jumping ahead of myself on that one. Forget that. The blue is obviously A for the color of the American flag, and also to make the stars stand out, the 17 stars stand out. Beg your pardon, I was jumping ahead of myself. Anyway, the swallowtail flag of Ohio, which I think is a beautiful flag, which I flew earlier this week as part of the build up for this. And it does look rather good on here. What have I missed? It literally looks like those decorations on 4th of July. Yes, it does look like a decoration, to be fair. It does look like a decoration, but I like it, and I probably like it because it's not a blue bed sheet. And it's a fairly simple design. If you wanted someone to sit down and draw the Ohio state flag, most people could come up with something fairly close to what it really is, to be fair, which is great. That's what we want. Right, okay, let's get rolling. Please say hi and hello in the chat. That's what it's there for. It's for all of us, please, not just me and a select few. You're all welcome to say hi. Love to know where you're all from. So let's get that ball rolling. Okay, moving on. This is where I was jumping ahead slightly. About Native Americans, and I was in the wrong place. This is what I was talking about when I got down that route, which is the, let's just hold this one up. This is the Tulsa flag, adopted only in 2018. So not that old, but one of an incredible design for a flag. The blue represents the Arkansas River. The beige symbolizes warmth and community, which is at the bottom there. Gold signifies discovery of oil, and the red represents the blood shed during the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre, which I will not go into details here, but I'm sure if you wanted to look it up and understand more about that, you are more than welcome, because it plays a pivotal part in this area's history. And then the shield bit, which is what I started talking about because it's on this flag, not the previous one, that represents the Native American tribes, and now it makes more sense. And the star within the red circle symbolizes Tulsa's bright future. So it's a beautiful symbolic flag that does not shy away from its history as well, even some of its dark history, which I think is necessary, and it makes a beautiful, bold statement as well as a great flag. It's one that I can't knock, and I think it did rather well in a NAVA poll just a few years back, if I remember rightly. Right, so I have a friend who lives in Tulsa. Excellent. Chiara, have I got that right? Chiara? It's, if people who've watched my previous live sessions will know that my pronunciation can sometimes be a little bit left to desire, but anyway, or Chiara, welcome. It's great having you here. It's a pleasure having everyone here today. So let's where are we? I have a friend of there too. Excellent. Right, it's Tulsa. Right, that's where we are. So that's Tulsa. Excellent. Okay, let's keep working on this, because we've still got plenty to get through. I didn't realize actually just how many US flags I do have until pulling this all together, but there we go. Right. Going back in a slightly different direction here now. So this is the new state, sorry, the state flag of New Jersey, which, okay, it gets points for not being a blue bed sheet, but then it loses points pretty much for being everything but blue, but still a bed sheet with a seal on it. And it's anyway, it was adopted in March 1896. You've got the buff and blue. So the colours, the buff was chosen to recall the Dutch colony of New Netherlands. Could remember that the Dutch turned up on the east coast of the US quite early on, and New Amsterdam, which is now New York, which is all part of the Dutch early colonies as well. And then in amongst this, you've got the ploughs representing the agriculture, and the figures of liberty standing there as well, and all the other bits and pieces that go with it. But this is not a flag. The seals were not designed to go on a flag. I mean, they weren't. Seals were used to be on paperwork, official paperwork. That's what seals are for, and quite right too. And when they're used properly, that's what they are. They're used for headed paper. They're used for shields to sit behind governors' desks on the walls. That's what a seal should be for. You don't put it on a frigging flag, because the detail, when you stand back 3 meters, I don't know, 10 feet, trying to keep me up with the Americans and their imperial ways of measuring stuff, You can't see the detail. Don't put a seal on a flag. It's not what it's for. It's not why they're there. Anyway, so that's Jersey. So bad. Thank you, Michael. We're on the same page. Now, so let's move on. We move on to, for me now, which is a flag that pretty much got me into flags at an early stage when I was at school, only a few years back. I was very much into my astronomy, not astrology. So I was into the stars and the moons and solar systems and all the other bits and pieces. I was not into star signs. So that and my love of science fiction as well. Anyway, so I ended up going and did a course at a local university, a night course about astronomy, where they got their own telescope and what have you. And they talked to one of the talking points that they did was about two flags in particular. One of them was the Australian flag, which has the Southern Cross on it. Oh, how convenient. Which you're not going to really see here. But anyway, the Australian flag, Southern Cross on it, the star constellation of the Southern Cross. And that how we in the Northern Hemisphere, if we stay in the Northern Hemisphere, we'll never see the Southern Cross, which is why it appears on flags such as New Zealand, Australia, Papua New Guinea. Let's go back to Brazil again. It's on there, very small, but it's on there and backwards. But that's a different story. And the other flag they talked about during this course was this one. He says, trying to make sure we get it the right way around, which is the flag of Alaska. And this constellation with what we call in the UK the plough. In the Americas, I think you call it the Big Dipper. So this is like the saucepan, basically, part of the stars. So the stars make up either a plough or a Big Dipper or a saucepan, let's face it. And then the North Star here up in the far top corner next to the fly. So designed back in May 1927 by a 13-year-old Benny Benson. And he came up with a rather marvelous. Something tells me that he had written the word Alaska on it and they removed it, but I may have got that wrong. I'm sure there was something that Benny had put on which they removed and went with what we've got now. And again, it's a beautiful island. The contrast between the dark navy blue and the light gold yellow stars, I think, is a beautiful, beautiful state flag. And again, it stands out. And it's simple. It's such a simple flag. Weirdly, it's simple because there's not much going on with it. But if you try and draw it, you're never going to get it exactly right. It's not like trying to draw the flag of France, for example. 3 colours done. This one, you go, well, there's only so many stars on it, but you've got to get them in the right position. And anyway, you get my point. But that's one. Hello, Habibi. Also, the drinking gourd. Is that another name for what we would call the plough? Is that what you're saying on that one? And welcome, by the way. And no, Habibi, you can't win a flag, but everyone else can. So let's just put that one out there. Right, Alaska, one of the best, Michael. Yes, you're quite right. Can't knock that one at all. Okay, right. For a time, it had the heat date. Do you mean? But it was dropped. I knew there was something on it. Habibi, I'm sure I can find you a flag if you want one. Come and have a look. Anyway, right. Okay. But yes, what was that? Alaska, one of my favorites, which is great. Okay, moving on during this Independence Day special for the US. Just make sure you drop a hi in the chat. Let us know where you're from as well. Let's keep this going, because it's always good for me to know where you guys are from as well, which is lovely. We're keeping Michael up, who's in Massachusetts, who's been up working all night, but is somehow hanging on before he goes to bed, watching this nonsense. Right, anyway, let's get on with New Mexico. Again, a favorite of mine. and I think always does very well in US state flag polls. And here we are, adopted in March 1925. The colours red and gold reflect the colours of the Spanish flag. There's obviously a Spain connection there. Let me just hang on, because I didn't sort myself out properly. There we go, it's good, it's seamless. The Zaya sun symbol represents the sacred number of 4, symbolizing 4 directions, seasons, times of day, stages of life. It's all there. So as you can see, there's 4 rays coming out in each direction, and 4 lots of 4 rays as well. For me, there's just one tiny little thing that I would do differently with this one, and some of you can probably guess. The one thing that I would do differently is just make the sun a bit bigger in the middle. There's plenty of flag to use, just make it a little bit bigger. Just utilize what you've got there just a little bit more. That's what I would do. Otherwise, it's a near as perfect flag as you can get, as far as I'm concerned. It's bold, it stands out when it's on a sea of 50 other flags or 49 other state flags. That stands out as far as I'm concerned, because it does rather well. So another beauty is, yes, Michael, I think you and I are on the same page when it comes to the flag designs. Again, emblem too small. Thank you, Island. Yes, you see, I agree. It just needs to be a bit bigger, and just a little bit. Anyway, right. Where are we? Let's keep going. Oh, now, haha. This is one of my favorites as well. Let's get rolling with this one. Now, this is a city flag. This is the city of Syracuse in the state of New York, and it's called the First Light. Is that right? Yes, First Light flag, designed by Eric Hart, who won a competition only just a few years back. And I've had the pleasure of having a chat and interviewing Eric a few years back, and indeed keeping in touch with him over the years to understand this flag. And the thinking behind this, him and I spent, gosh, over an hour pretty much going into the full details of this flag, and he's really sat and thought about this flag, how it can be changed and utilized, and at the moment there's pride versions, or there were for last month. There's the way of what happens when you put this flag on, or if you expand it, what happens to the colors of the 2 blue triangles at the bottom? How do they overlap if you carry on further down? Oh, and the color of the orange. It's a beautiful design, and symbolizes very much the Onondaga areas and the trust. The gold signifies the sun and regeneration. The white is for, I want to say, snow as well as hills. And there's a lot of geography in the valley as well, hence the V shape between the 2 blues. There's a lot. I would strongly recommend to go and have a look and get a little bit more out of what this flag is, because if you're into flags, this one I think is a beautiful design, far superior to what it's replaced of the city of Syracuse as well, and rightly so. So yeah, as I say, I've got an interview with Eric. Eric also appeared on the Flag for Content podcast, so you can go and have a listen to him over on that channel with Andy Richardson as well. And also on web pages as well. If you go into the official Syracuse website, there's stuff about the flag. It's a beautiful design, as far as I'm concerned. Great balance, star size to the 50% weight. Yes, I saw the start and got excited. Excellent. Excellent. First Light. Yes. Okay, good. Right. Lovely. Moving on. Still got more to do. You'll be pleased to know. Right. Where are we on this one? Okay. Let's just make sure I know what I'm talking about. Now, this here is the flag of the city of Philadelphia. adapted in 1895. And I'm not sure what else I can really say about it than it's blue and yellow with lots of stuff going on in the middle. Swedish colonizers, okay, I suppose it's, you know, we can take the colors, and then just busyness going on in the middle. And then we, you know, the center bit is hope and justice and abundance and life. It's more emblems and seals in, but anyway, if you happen to like the city flag of Philadelphia, then I apologize profoundly, but it's far from one of my favorites. And I can't say anything decent about it at all, except I have it. Again, the reason that I have it is because I got it in a flag swap, probably as a joke from Joey B, when I sent him some very decent flags, and he comes back with the nonsense that he sent me. However, much to his amusement, when I open them, much to my dismay, of course, when I actually end up owning these things. Moving on. Back to normality. Look at this flag of Phoenix. This only dates back to 1990, so a fairly recent flag. It's maroon and white. I love the red on this. The maroon is a beautiful color. Is this one from Flags for Good? Yes, it is. So the maroon reflects the Greek meaning of phoenix, which is supposed to be a purple, really, more than anything. And the phoenix in the middle symbolizes rebirth, growth, reflecting the city's rise from the ruins of former civilization. I mean, what is there not to love about this flag, in my humble opinion? Now, I mean, I'm going to contradict that and go, to draw, if you had to, the phoenix would be a little tricky. I grant you that. However, when it's up a flagpole flapping around, this does look rather spectacular. It's such a bold design. Keeping it just the two colors means that the phoenix itself really stands out. And it's one of my favorites. Well, I've had it for a little while now. I'm pleased to bought it. I love it when it's up flying on the flagpole. Personal favorite city flag in the US. Thank you, Michael. It's nice. Yes, thank you. It's a beautiful, beautiful flag, and I love it. Now, Eyelet, I'm going to need you back on this one. So it's part of a flag swap with Eyelet that we did earlier this year. Gave me this, which is a USA Army vessel signals flag, which is very, very unique from a military perspective, I think. Mind you, castle's strong, solid, fortified, so I get the symbolism that sits behind it. There are many different styles of these signal flags, but this one is a very bold design, and I do like it, to be fair. And I think at the time when I opened it up as well, and wasn't quite sure what it was, so I had to go away and look it up and do a bit of research. But I think because it is such a strong, simple-ish design, it still looks good when it's flapping around up on a flagpole. So I would go, it's just a smidgen too far onto the busy side for me, but I do just still like it. And it's kept to minimal colors, just the three if you include the black, which makes it really stand out. And I do like it. So if you've not seen that one before, that's great. Army Corps of Engineers, that's it. Army Corps of Engineers. Beg your pardon. What did I call it? Something else. Oh, Vessel Signals Flag. Army Corps of Engineers. Same thing. Okay, right, let's get back to familiarity as we hurtle towards the end here. Let's just get, here we go. Talking of busy flags, but somehow manages to win people over, is the flag of California from 1911, designed by William Todd. The white symbolizing the purity, red representing courage, green for the land, and the brown for the big grizzly bear. There he is. Oh, and there's a star in it as well for sovereignty. And the word republic still in there, even though it's now a state flag and it's not independent at all. But it does, you see, words shouldn't be on flags, but for somehow, and I'm not sure why yet, and I know this gets debated occasionally, having California Republic on there, it works. That said, simply removing the words California Republic and keeping everything else would work just as well, if not probably better. The words don't need to be there. They could remove the words and just enlarge the bear on his little green mound just a little bit. Bring the bear more to the forward. You could make the star slightly bigger and just get rid of the words, but keep the red and everything else exactly the same. Everyone would still know it's the flag of California. Don't need to write on it. It says it all there anyway. Not that there are any bears left in California, however, but let's not go down that one at all. Anyway, William, hi, hello. Green is too dark. Is that on here? Oh, is it from... how could describe that shade in writing? How could you describe the writing is what do you mean describe the shade? So my green is too dark on this. It probably is. It is quite a dark green. And I mean, I quite like the font of writing, if that's what you're talking about on this, but I still think it could easily go, and the bear could just be a bit bigger in the middle of it all. That's my thinking. But yes, thank you, William. It's good to have you here. Right, okay, where are we? Let's, I think we've almost, yes, right. So we've come pretty much to the end. I've got one more flag to share with you guys, which I've left, from my perspective, the best till last out of the collection that I have. So there's not been in any real order up till now, but I did leave this last one to one side, which sort of contradicts a little bit of some of the stuff I've said. But anyway, I'll come to it in just a minute. As I've said before, if you're here, say hello. Let me know where you're from as well. But also, if you want to be in chance for winning a flag for merely being involved in the live stream, where you can win a Bedfordshire or a Flags in Focus flag, then fill in the link that I've got available. Get that in, so at least I can contact you a bit later on, and we can sort out addresses and stuff offline and get a flag sent to you, so you can either stick it up on a flagpole, hang it out a window, wrap it around you as you run around the house. Entirely up to you. It's your flag, it'll be for you. So let's say that. Rocks of Forest, hello. Without the words, the flag would look super Russian. Do you think so? Well, with the bears, yes. There's a few type of regional flags in Russia with bears. Yeah, but doesn't everybody know that Californian bear is the right one for California? Oh, I don't know, but I get where you're coming from. Surely if it's flying in amongst 49 other state flags, you'd have a good guess that it's California and not some Russian oblast type. Anyway, welcome, Rox. It's good to have you here. And thank you for joining in. Right. Excuse me. Sorry. Right. The halls have done well to keep it at bay after the amount of coughing I've done this morning. Okay, my final and favourite flag, which I've currently got upside down, is this one. There we go. Let's just bring that into the fold. There we go. So this is, for those of you not knowing, it's the new Utah state flag, which came into play. Now, have I got this right? Then was it March last year or March the year before? Gosh, I'm already at a loss. Anyway, it's a fairly new flag, to be fair, and it was almost an amalgamation of winning designs when they held a competition a good few years back. I think it was back in 2020 they started this competition, and it ran for years and years and years over COVID. It just went on and on and on. So not one specific person designed submitted this particular design. However, there were a number of designs that were very similar to this that all sort of came together. And again, Michael Green from Flags for Good submitted a version which, if you look at his submission, is very similar to this, or there's elements of this in here. I'm going to have to cough again. I'm so sorry. Yes, the Hall suites are now wearing off. Okay, what have we got here? So the blue, white, and red. So the blue hexagon outlined in gold, that's obviously the center. The beehive, because it's known as the beehive state, and a 5-pointed star. So the blue represents Utah's skies and lakes, as well as the values like faith, knowledge, and freedom. The white symbolizing peace and the snowy peaks of the Utah mountains. The red evokes the red rock canyons of southern Utah. Which I think someone's just going to have to move this up ever so slightly. So I get all the symbolism and the colors right. Let's just pull that back up again. The gold for the hexagon, the beehive symbolizing obviously prosperity and unity, which is great. The beehive, which has been a long-standing symbol of Utah, which is more for representing industry and community as opposed to having just lots of worker bees around everywhere, but the symbolism's there. And the hexagon resembles the honeycombs as well, reinforcing the beehive theme. And the 5-pointed star represents that Utah was the 45th state union. So instead of having 45 little stars on there, they had just the one that is the representation of all 45 stars on there, which is great. And I love this flag completely. I think this is one of the best. It's busy, I give it that, absolutely give it that. But when it comes to US state flags, that's a corker, in my own personal opinion, and I love it. I'd love to hear what you guys think of it as well. About 70 people were awarded $100 each. So yes, oh gosh, was it that many? 70 people. I knew there was a lot of people's amalgamated designs. $100 isn't much, but it's, you know, better than a kick in the teeth. Right, there we go. What else have we got? William, I've missed what you said earlier. Maryland and New Mexico are the best. The New Mexico symbol could be bigger from, I'm from Maryland. Oh, Maryland, hello, welcome, William. That's great. Yes, so we covered New Mexico earlier. And yes, you're right. We said the New Mexico is brilliant. It just needs to be a little bit bigger in the middle of the flag. So we're all on the same page on that one. That's great. Rocks, forest, the bear, and the red star. Yeah, all good, which is what we need. Right. Okay. That, would you believe, in pretty much an hour, there we are, is my entirety of my collection of US flags for this 4th of July Independence Day special live stream. As I say, I usually do live streams on the last Friday of every month at 12:45 British summer time. That will change in October, but let's just stick for the moment. It's all British summertime at present. Throughout the rest of the month is the usual videos that I've been doing, making all sorts of weird and wonderful episodes of while I've been out on my travels. Mauritania is one that's coming up in the next week or so as well, which has had the finishing touches. So before I finish off, it gives me just one more thing to do. So let me just have a look and see who has been busy enough in the chat, as well as updated and submitted on the form as well, because as I say, I need a contact to reach out for the winners of this this live stream. For the winner is going to take away either a flag of Bedfordshire or what's it? Flags of Focus. That's the what's it. How can I forget that? It's me. I'm here. Let's have a look. Just stick that in the so-called randomizer in there, and you'll be pleased to know, if I can just pull this out, technology doesn't completely rule me over, but it looks like, where are we? Yep, Michael, it is you. You'll be pleased to know. How exciting. There, you can start that before you go to sleep, safe in the knowledge now that you are one flag extra in your collection even if you don't have a collection of flags, you now have one at least. So I shall reach out to you. I shall send you an email. Congratulations, and we'll get details of where to send flags, which one you want, and where I need to send it. So congratulations to Michael for A, filling out the forms, and B, getting involved in the chat as well. And he's been busy throughout the chat, which is great. So thank you for joining in. And I say I'll be here again at the end of the month as well. We'll do this all again. Not specifically about the US this time. We'll go back to some more bits and pieces that we usually cover, some flag unboxing and some various other bits that we cover. So join me then, whatever that last Friday is. I want to say the 25th, but I think it is the 25th of July, which seems an age away, but it's only about 4 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time. Anyway, 12:45 on that Friday. I've been Mr. P. This is the Flag Lair. Thank you all for joining and spending the time with me. As I say, it's all about you guys as well as me talking nonsense for an hour. But I just enjoy spending the time with you guys. It's been great. So thank you very much for inviting me into your homes and sitting and listening. Let's just see if I missed anything else. Joined late, so going to go back and watch. Okay, thank you, Rox. That's great. You can get some sleep now. Yes, well done, Michael. Get some sleep. Thank you, William. Thank you, Eilert. And thank you, Rox. And thank you, Mitier as well. So all of you and everyone else who's sat and watched. So I will leave it there. Thank you very much for being here. And until next time, be seeing you.